Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the Be Qur'an podcast. Today, we're exploring the days that followed the tragedy of Karbala, a time marked by unimaginable pain, but also a radiant display of spiritual strength and unwavering faith. I'm your host, Ali.
And I'm Fatima. These moments after Ashura often get overlooked, but they hold some of the most profound lessons in resilience, resistance, and divine purpose. From the fearless voice of Lady Zaynab to the continued guidance of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, this is a story that didn't end in Karbala. It only began.
Exactly. In this episode, we'll explore the aftermath of Karbala, the moral weight of its legacy, and how the Qur'an and Ahlul Bayt together offer us timeless guidance, especially in times of hardship.
So whether you're listening on your commute, your walk, or from the comfort of home, join us as we reflect, remember, and hopefully transform through the light of Karbala. Let's get into it. Bismillah.
It was truly a time of profound tragedy, yet also one that just shines with this unwavering spiritual resilience. We're talking about the days of Zaynab, commemorating the deeply impactful aftermath of the tragedy of Karbala.
And in this episode, our source is a really powerful lecture by Sayyid Ali Khalkhali. He offers incredible insights into the pivotal roles played by Lady Zaynab and the third Imam, Imam Hussain alayhi salam, during this defining period.
That's right. Our mission today is really to unpack the core messages, maybe uncover some surprising facts,
and enduring lessons from this pivotal time.
Yeah, discover that profound wisdom that kind of transcends centuries.
Exactly. Exploring how immense faith, deep historical knowledge, and, frankly, unparalleled moral courage were shown right in the face of unimaginable adversity.
So let's explore this. So when we look at the aftermath of Karbala, Lady Zaynab emerges not just as a survivor, but as this undeniable beacon of unwavering strength.
Absolutely.
She provided just an extraordinary example for the other ladies, the children. The lecture actually describes her as the beam holding the descendants of Ali, Muhammad together.
That's such a powerful description.
What about her role in those immediate horrifying days? What strikes you most profoundly?
Well, what's truly remarkable, I think, is how she maintained such composure, such leadership, really, throughout that horrific journey. Her strength was maybe most powerfully displayed during her sermon in the court of Yazid. It's a moment of just incredible courage. And I'm particularly struck by her historical acumen, even when confronting her oppressor. She references the Holy Prophet's pardoning of everyone during the conquest of Mecca. And crucially, this included Yazid's own forefathers, despite their past wrongs.
Wow. That's astounding, isn't it? I mean, she wasn't even born then, yet she wielded that historical knowledge with such precision.
Exactly.
But beyond just the historical fact, what deeper lesson can we really draw from her bringing up that specific act of forgiveness in such a volatile setting?
Right. It's more than just a history lesson, as you say. Her choice to remind Yazid of the Prophet's mercy, it was this profound act of moral suasion. It wasn't just about being kind. It felt like a strategic use of history, really, to challenge the very foundation of Yazid's perceived authority and expose how far he deviated from Islamic principles. The lecture connects it to that Quranic verse, "Let them pardon and forgive. Do you not love to be forgiven by Allah?" It forces us, I think, to consider how we can, even in conflict, maybe employ kindness and truth as these powerful tools to disrupt cycles of vengeance.
She didn't shy away from accountability either.
Not at all.
She made that powerful statement that in committing the horrific acts of Karbala, Yazid had pulled off his skin and cut off his own flesh and prepared himself for the hereafter in hellfire. Wow. I mean, this isn't just an accusation, is it? It feels like a chilling dissection of the spiritual consequences of tyranny.
It absolutely is. Her words really highlight that true self-destruction comes from moral depravity, regardless of external victories or worldly power.
Right.
For us, the profound takeaway isn't merely to, quote, be mindful of our actions, which, okay, that's a fundamental teaching. Sure, but it's more to understand how unchecked arrogance and injustice, especially from those in power, ultimately consume the perpetrator. This world, as she implies, really is a test, isn't it?
It seems so.
Where everything is recorded, and the path to avoiding that spiritual ruin involves, avoiding evil, repenting, committing good acts.
And reciting dua, supplication. And then there's that legendary reply in Kufa when Yazid sarcastically asked her how she felt about Karbala.
Her answer, "I saw nothing but beauty."
Just incredible. That phrase alone just encapsulates this sublime patience, something beyond mere endurance. What kind of faith does that reveal, and how might we even begin to apply that sort of radical perspective?
It reveals, I think, an unwavering belief in Allah's wisdom, even amidst just unimaginable loss. It's not a passive acceptance, definitely not. It's an active spiritual vision that finds meaning and purpose, even in tragedy.
Right.
For the Ahlul Bayt, their connection to Allah was so profound, it seems that they saw the divine plan unfolding. They understood that their suffering was a testament, a sacrifice for a higher truth.
So, how does that translate for us?
Well, for us, maybe it means trying to find that same deeper meaning in our own daily struggles, whether they're financial, emotional, whatever. It's about not just enduring, but trying to transform hardship through remembrance of Allah, through prayer and gratitude, understanding that true beauty can emerge from devotion, even in the darkest of times.
So, Lady Zaynab really embodied knowledge, kindness, and this unwavering faith that just shine brightest in the darkest of times.
Beautifully put, yes.
Okay, so building on that, let's shift focus a bit now to Imam Hussain, as we often describe him as a walking and talking Qur'an. That's not just poetic, is it? It really speaks to his incredibly strong link with the Book of Allah.
It really does. The Quran is fundamentally a book of guidance, right? And Imam Hussain was the lantern of guidance, the Nur of Allah, which means the divine light.
Wow.
His hiyara, the greetings to him, describe him as the one who would always recite the Book of Allah, truly making him the partner, the parallel to the Holy Quran.
That deep connection, it's so evident in that night just before Ashura.
Yes.
The enemies, they planned to wage war, but Imam Hussain requested a delay, just one more night. It wasn't about escaping, was it?
No, not at all. It was because he was, as the source says, in love with the recitation of salah, prayer towards Allah, and in love with the recitation of the Book of Allah.
Just amazing dedication.
Incredible. That night, the Imam, his companions, everyone around them spent it entirely in remembrance of Allah, either in prayer or Quran recitation.
What's particularly striking about that deliberate choice, given their imminent fate, what does that say?
Well, for me, it's a powerful example of prioritizing that spiritual connection over mortal fear. It shows devotion as this act of profound love, not just duty. Even right in the face of certain death, it's about finding peace and strength and ultimate surrender, maybe.
I think so.
It kind of advises us in our own lives to find those moments for deep connection with the divine, especially when we're facing our own challenges.
I agree completely. It truly shows the depth of their spiritual commitment. Quite humbling, actually.
It really is. And it's fascinating how Imam Hussain alayhi salam consistently confronted his opponents with Quranic verses, especially when, as the lecture notes, some in earlier battles had neglected the true teachings that Ali is with the Quran and the Quran is with Ali. He really was a living Quran, wasn't he?
Embodying its principles. He was. Consider that incident with the man who fought Imam Hussein's father. He excused himself by citing Quranic verses about kindness to parents. But Imam Hussain responded by quoting Surah Al-Imran, verse 15. And if there is an occasion that they order you and command you to ascribe partners to Allah, then do not obey them.
That really raises a crucial question for us, doesn't it? How do we navigate these conflicting loyalties in our own lives?
That's a really important point. Imam Hussain alayhi salam clearly taught that even obligations that seem noble, like, obeying your parents, they become secondary when they demand you compromise core divine principles.
Right, honoring those higher priorities.
Exactly. And there's another powerful example. Remember when someone questioned his claim of being among the chosen ones?
Yes.
Imam Hussain replied, quoting Surah Al-Imran, verse 33, Allah has chosen certain individuals of the progeny of Abraham, who bring others, mankind, towards the path of Allah.
This isn't just about spiritual lineage, is it? What else is going on there?
No, I think it also underscores the immense responsibility that comes with such a lineage.
Ah, good point.
It's not just a claim of privilege, it's a profound call to leadership, guiding humanity. It's more like a burden than just an honor, maybe.
That reframes how we might understand spiritual authority. And then when Marwan, the governor, demanded Imam Hussein's allegiance to Yazid.
Right, another confrontation. The Imam again quoted the Qur'an, Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 33, about keeping impurity away from the Ahlul Bayt, the household of the Prophet. He stated clearly, we are the Ahlul Bayt mentioned in this verse.
So direct.
And then he described Yazid as intoxicated, alcoholic, haram drink, open sinner, corrupt individual who kills the innocent.
That demonstrates just incredible moral fortitude, doesn't it? A complete refusal to compromise principles for worldly power, even knowing the immense personal cost.
Exactly, no compromise whatsoever.
It's clear that both the Quran and Imam Hussein's life share these truly profound and parallel themes. The Quran issues that challenge, that bring anything like it, a book, a chapter, even a single verse, and it remains unmatched.
Right. And in that same vein, Imam Mahdi alayhi salam was described as an individual like no other individual, past, present, and future. His life and his martyrdom were so unique that even previous prophets like Adam and Ibrahim and all the subsequent imams would weep and remember the events of Karbala.
That's hard to even fathom.
It is. Prophet Muhammad himself is quoted saying that his own torment was great, but the masa'ib, the calamities, are greatest of none other than my beloved, my dear grandson Abdullah, meaning Hussein. And even Imam Hassan alayhi salam on his deathbed told Hussein, there is no day like your day.
So what makes his sacrifice so uniquely profound that it resonates through all of history, even with other divine figures?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I think maybe it's its unique ability to reveal that ultimate clash between good and evil. It becomes this universal archetype of resistance and profound love.
So it speaks to the human condition itself.
Yeah, in a way that seems to transcend time and specific faith traditions, you know?
That makes sense. Another fascinating parallel you mentioned is incorruptibility.
Yes, the Quran in Surah Fussilat, verse 41, is described as dear. Never shall evil or falsehood approach it.
And this connects directly to Imam Hussein's life.
Right?
Which never, ever would falsehood approach him. He was far away from sins, a sinless individual.
Exactly. So for anyone seeking guidance, hidayah, and a sinless example, both the Quran and Imam Hussein's life serve as these pure, untarnished sources, like an unadulterated blueprint for righteous living.
Well put, yes. And the Quran offers so many lessons and examples for all to gain and, from history to ethics, everything.
And Imam Hussein's life and martyrdom also provide that hidayah, that guidance, and countless lessons.
They really do. I mean, think about repentance, Tawbah, the story of Hud.
Yes, the one who opposed him initially.
That's the one. He initially opposed Imam Hussein, but then asked for forgiveness, and the Imam assured him Allah would accept his true repentance.
What a powerful lesson that is.
Absolutely. Or think about morals and manners, akhlaq, like Imam Hussein and his brother gently correcting an elderly man's ablution, showing such profound respect and humility.
Yeah, that's a beautiful story. And even amidst that intense thirst in Karbala, the Imam instructed his followers, provide it to them, meaning water to his opponents. Incredible generosity even then.
These aren't just anecdotes, are they?
They feel much bigger.
No, not at all. They illustrate this active, compassionate leadership even in the direst circumstances. They show how mercy and moral integrity aren't optional extras,
Right. They're integral to the path of guidance, even when dealing with enemies. They really demonstrate the practical application of the Quranic teachings.
And then there's altruism and self-sacrifice. The Quran describes designated individuals who performed everything for the sake of Allah with this sense of altruism.
And we've seen this reflected in his family, too, like Lady Fatima, Imam Hussein's mother.
Giving food to a beggar.
Yes, and putting her own young sons, Hassan and Hussein, to sleep hungry so the guests could eat first.
That level of selflessness.
And then Imam Hussein's ultimate self-sacrifice in Karbala, sending his beloved son Ali al-Akbar,
First among the Banu Hashim, to the battlefield. So if we connect this all to the bigger picture, Imam Hussein's life really provides this practical blueprint for living out core Islamic teachings on morality, compassion, selflessness.
Exactly. And the Quran, it guides to the most straight and upright path. The Holy Prophet used that analogy, didn't he? The Ark of Noah.
That's the one. The likeness of my household is like the Ark of Noah. Whoever embarks upon this ark is safe. And while all imams are this ark,
Imam Hussein's ark is more spacious and speedier for salvation. That's what's said.
so he wasn't just a beacon, he was an active invitation. His letters to Kufa and Basra declared, "O people, the true Islam is dead. If you were to listen to the Imam and listen and obey your Imam, I shall guide you to the path of perfection." This raises a really important question for us today. What does it mean to truly obey guidance beyond just seeing it or hearing about it?
That's a crucial distinction, isn't it? We see it play out in the story of Zuhair. He ignored the Imam at first.
Right, he initially ignored him, but the source says when he heard and listened and obeyed the Imam, he gained to be one of the shuhadad, the martyrs of Karbala.
And the contrast?
Contrast that with Abdullah. He saw the Imam, but apparently did not truly recognize the true position of the Imam, and later he expressed deep regrets for not joining him.
It echoes that Quranic verse about regret.
About prioritizing worldly things over Allah.
It does. The transformative power seems to lie in...
That recognition and then the obedience that follows. So what does this all mean for us then? The Holy Prophet lamented that some amongst my nation have forsaken and abandoned the Holy Quran. What's really implied by forsaken here? Is it just not reading it?
I don't think so. Forsaking the Quran isn't just neglecting recitation or learning its verses. It's failing to apply its teachings, right? And crucially, abandoning its parallel, which is the Ahlul Bayt, the household of the Prophet.
The teaching emphasizes adhering to both of them, the Book of Allah and the Ahlul Bayt.
So true guidance comes from embracing both. That's the message. Recognizing the interconnectedness of the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt as these two inseparable sources of spiritual integrity. Abandoning one sort of diminishes the effectiveness of the other, leading to a fragmented understanding of faith.
And the tragedy, of course, didn't end in Karbala itself.
No, sadly not. The journey of suffering continued. The fourth Imam remembered it as Asam, 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 meaning the greatest tragedy.
Imam Hussein's head was carried on spears, first from Karbala to Kufa, and then
all the way to Sham, which is modern-day Damascus. And here's where it gets, well, almost unbelievably profound. There's that miraculous account of Zayd ibn Arqam.
he heard the head reciting.
Yes, hearing the head of Imam Hussain A.S. reciting verses from Surah Al-Kahf, chapter 18, verse 9, about the companions of the cave and the inscription, how they were true inspiration.
Wow, what does it even mean for a sacred head to continue reciting divine words after martyrdom?
It's incredible. For me, it demonstrates this profound source of inspiration that just defies all physical limitations.
Right, it's like a testament to truth and guidance. Once truly embodied, can transcend death and continue to resonate, literally and spiritually.
Exactly, a message that couldn't be silenced.
And finally, we have Lady Zaynab's final stand in Yazid's courtyard in Sham.
Right, the head was presented on a tray.
Yes, and Yazid was boasting, even starting to poke the head with a stick.
Just horrific disrespect.
Unimaginable. And what's truly powerful here is Lady Zaynab's response, isn't it?
Absolutely. Her passionate, heartbroken outcry, reminding Yazid how the Prophet Muhammad himself would embrace and kiss the head of his grandson Hussein. That sheer defiance, that unwavering love, even in the face of such utter desecration, it really makes Lady Zaynab this timeless symbol of truth speaking to power.
Even when power is at its most brutal and degrading. Yes. So, the story of Karbala and these figures, Imam Hussain and Lady Zaynab, they aren't just historical events, are they?
No, they feel like a living testament to that ultimate human struggle between light and darkness, between obedience to God and worldly corruption. It really challenges us, I think, to consider in our own lives. When we're confronted with difficult choices, how do we choose? Do we embody the spirit of the Qur'an, the self-sacrifice of those who stood for truth, even when it cost them everything? What personal deep dive will you, the listener, take into these lessons this week?
Thanks for joining us on this podcast episode.
Until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and keep seeking the truth.